Okay, good afternoon everyone. Yesterday discussing organisms and population topic. Okay, the introduction of abiotic factors. Introduction of abiotic factors. All those things we are discussing yesterday. So now we are discussing different types of adaptations. Now we are discussing different types of adaptations. The organisms will be adapted in different conditions and different regions. So what they are, we have to discuss in clearly. So yesterday before topic is how to respond the organisms. Okay, organisms is respond to abiotic factors. Okay, before topic. So now we are discussing adaptations. Now we are discussing adaptation of organisms. Okay, adaptations. Adaptation of organism. Adaptation of organisms. Okay, adaptation of organisms. Adaptation of organisms means it is to be adapting different manner, different kinds of manner, different kinds of manner means, for example, now we have to see the first thing is morphological and second thing is physiological and third thing is behavioral. Okay, the organisms can adapted in different manner. Some kinds of animals to be adapted in morphologically, so they can adjust it in morphologically. Some kinds of animals they can adjust in physiologically. Some types of animals they can adjust in behaviorally. So different types of adaptations will be here. So the different types of organisms they can adapt it in morphologically and physiologically and behaviorally. Okay, different kinds of adaptations. Now we have to see, for example, and different kinds of adaptations we will see. So for example, we can see the desert adaptations mean they can living in desert conditions. So that conditions animal is having, so there is no water available in the desert conditions. So how can survive the animals in the desert areas? Okay, some animals they can store water in many days. They can store many days in water. Okay, some animals, so they cannot drink the water, so to survive. So how can they survive in the desert regions or desert conditions? This is also to be extreme hot conditions also to be here. Okay, some animals can survive without water. Some animals cannot drinking water, so they can survive also there in desert conditions. Okay, some animals, okay, they can store the water inside the body in many days. Once, for example, we can take the camel, so they can drink water in once in some and few days it will be continuous. In 1 month or 2 months it will be continued. Okay, so for example, we can see in kangaroo rat in desert conditions how they can survive. How they can survive in desert condition. So for example, we have to see the kangaroo rat. The first one is called kangaroo rat. Kangaroo rat. It is to be survive in extreme conditions. It and dry conditions. It is also dry conditions. Means they can survive in extreme conditions. Means like temperature also will be in extreme hot conditions in desert areas. So the kangaroo rat how can survive in the desert regions? The kangaroo rat found in North America. The kangaroo rat found in North America. The kangaroo rat found in North American desert. Okay, the kangaroo rat found in North America desert. This organism can survive in extreme conditions. Extreme conditions. Okay, extreme conditions are dry conditions. Okay, he is also survive. So in this kangaroo rat Kangaroo rat do not drink the water. Okay, the kangaroo can survive. Kangaroo rat can survive. Can survive. Do not drink water. Do not drink water. Do not drink water. But some metabolic activities will be going on inside, but water is compulsory needed. How the organism will be surviving without water? So each and every organism needed water. This organism is also, I mean, kangaroo rat is also needed water, but this rat is cannot drink the water. They can survive in extreme conditions, but metabolic activities going on inside body, so water is compulsory needed. Water is compulsory needed. So how they can survive in desert regions in kangaroo rat? So here can survive, do not drink water, means without water the kangaroo rat will be survive. But here the the water will be comes the inside the body in kangaroo rat. The water will be comes in inside the body in kangaroo rat, where it is comes from the water. So kangaroo rat directly is not drinking the water, but water is comes inside to inside metabolic activities. So where it is comes from the inside means, so here the fats will be oxidized. The fats will be oxidized. Okay, fats oxidation, fats oxidation, fats are oxidized, then comes to water, okay. Fats are to be oxidized, the inside, then releasing water. This water is called, which type of water this? Metabolic water. This is called metabolic water. Metabolic water means, so each and every organism is needed water. Why? Means the metabolic activities going on inside, so needed water means the most of the times metabolic activities going on need water. In case there is no water, the activities are not going inside, and sometimes they are not survive. So water is essential for life. So here it is can survive, do not drink the water. So how it will become the water in the inside of kangaroo rat means, so fats are oxidized to release water. That water is called metabolic water. And also to be excrete waste products. Excrete waste products means, that is called highly concentrated urine. Highly concentrated urine. This animal also called in uricotelic animal. It is highly toxic substances will be there in urine. Means here excretory products will be eliminate. So it is highly concentrated urine. Highly concentrated urine means it is need a lot of water. But in this kangaroo rat they can consume water. Means here it is highly toxic means the excretory products it will be eliminated. It is a highly toxic substances. That substances will be eliminated through water. This animal is also uricotelic animal. So here highly concentrated urine means highly toxic substances will be here. Through it will be eliminated water. But here water is fats are oxidized to comes water. That is called metabolic water. This is do not drink the water. Here also highly concentrated water, urine. So it is need a lot of water. But the kangaroo rat consume the water. It will little bit water will be through the release in in this urine. Little bit water will be needed. Why it is to be releasing for urine. Okay, this is kangaroo. The first thing of desert conditions, it will be survive in different types of things. For example, we have to see another thing. Means, for example, xerophytes. Means that is one of the desert plant. So we have to see plant. This is kangaroo rat. Now we can see xerophytes. Now we can see xerophytes. This is also living in dry conditions. Living in dry conditions. For example, the xerophyte plant, the transpiration is going on leaves. Leaves means the stomata will be there, exchange of gases. In the exchange of gases, some water will be eliminated. The water vapors will be eliminated. So the transpiration condition time, so the water will be eliminated. But the plant will be it is to be consume the water. Means the leaves are modified into spines or radios. For example, reduced leaves or modified spines. Okay, so the xerophyte plant, you see, it is going on to take the transpiration through the leaves. In case through the leaves transpiration is going, so it can eliminate water. So the loss of water will be there. So that's why it is to be modifying the leaves. It can reduce or modified spines. So in these leaves, this modified leaves also called, it is having stomata, but the stomata it is called sunken stomata. Means leaves are to be reduced or modified spines. Spines means small tiny like structures. For example, the modified spines means we have to see the cactus and opuntia. Okay, you have to see these plants in modified spines. Tendrils, modified spines. Okay, you can see that. So here, why the transpiration will be going on leaves means the exchange of gases and all the metabolic activities will be transpiration going on leaves. Means through the exchange of gases, water will be eliminated. Water vapors. So here it will be having the stomata through working stomata. So this type of stomata is having sunken stomata. Means spines also is having stomata. So which type of stomata is having? So this type of stomata is having. So here also to be found the epidermal tissues and cells also there. But here guard cells will be present. Means this is to be exchange of gases and there. So here inside the melting. Like a small lobules. This lobules is having hair-like structure or tiny-like structures. This is to be protecting for transpiration to exchange of gases. There eliminated water. That water will be consumed. This is called stomata. This is called stomata means guard cells. So this type of guard cells is called sunken stomata. This sunken stomata is having modified spines or reduced leaves. That plant is having sunken stomata. The transpiration is going on through stomata. Gases will be exchanged through stomata. Okay, through stomata. Next, the stomata. In this xerophyte plants, the stomata opens during the night time. Okay, these plants, the stomata during Open night time. Open night time and closed during daytime and closed during daytime. During daytime means, for example, we can see C4 cycle. C4 cycle in the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means the Dock reaction will be occurred in the photosynthesis means. So there where different types of metabolic activities will be going on there means NADP, ADP will be making, so ATPs also will be available. Okay, that is called C4 cycle. We can here alternate mean it is called here C3 cycle will be going on. C3 cycle will be, sorry, C3 not C3, C4 cycle. C3 cycle is also go, it is consumed, that is called Dock reaction. It is called Dock reaction. It is here C4 cycle also going to here. This is a alternate photosynthesis. Alternate photosynthesis will be appear here. Alternate photosynthesis will be appear here. This is called, I mean, this C4 plants is called dimorphic means here it is to be present in dimorphic chloroplast also to be present here. Dimorphic chloroplast. Dimorphic chloroplast. Here the chloroplast, I mean, is having granule or a granule. So this is also called an Kranz anatomy. This is also called as Kranz anatomy. This is also called as Kranz anatomy. So this is also called Kranz anatomy. Kranz anatomy. Next, this is also means CAM plants also we can discuss. CAM plants also we can discuss here. CAM plants also to be discussed to here. So it is alternative plant of, I mean, photosynthesis. It's alternative photosynthesis also to be occurs. Alternative photosynthesis. Alternative photosynthesis also to be occurred here. Alternative photosynthesis means it is called dimorphic photosynthesis. Means dimorphic photosynthesis means it is a dimorphic chloroplast also to be present. It is granule or a granule. That is to be introducing for Kranz anatomy. Kranz anatomy means alternate photosynthesis means it's like C4 pathway and C3 pathway, light reaction and dark reaction. Here also to be present in night. This stomata will be opening in where in during the night time only. Here will be appearing on alternate photosynthesis is called dark reaction. Next, though this type of stomata is calling means sunken stomata means this type of stomata. Okay, this type of stomata is calling scotoactive stomata. This, I mean, alternate photosynthesis will be occurred in transpiration through the leaves. It is called modified that leaves or spines are reducing the leaves. So they will be having stomata. The type of stomata is having, what is the stomata? Scotoactive stomata. Okay, this is for xerophyte plants. Xerophyte plants, they can survive to alternate positions. They can survive in alternate positions. First we have discussing in where, I mean, we are discussing in first desert condition. First we are discussing desert condition. The kangaroo rat will be survive without water. But water is very essential for life in various metabolic activities going in inside. So they can survive in desert conditions. That is called morphological. Can survive. So this is also physiologically can survive these plants. It is also to be modified. Their leaves to given another things, reduce or more spines like Okay, they can survive. They can survive means they can modify in morphologicals and physiological and different types of behaviorals. Different types of behaviorals. Next thing is we can see the animals. Animals can be living in colder regions. Animals living in colder regions, that is called smaller extremities. Smaller extremities. Okay. Xerophyte plants completed. Okay. Next thing is animals. Can live in colder conditions, colder regions or colder conditions. Okay, the animal can living in colder regions. Animal can living in colder regions. Means small extremities. Small extremities. Small extremities means like they having a small pinna. And snout and arms. Okay. Okay. In adaptation in colder regions. The animals can living in colder regions. That animals is having a small extremities. Why the small extremities is having means, so they can conserving heat. Why? Because means, for example, we can see in extreme hot conditions, they can live on different types of animals is there. For example, we can see the fox in extreme hot conditions. So they is having a long limbs and long arms and long ears and long ear pinna. So why means they have, the inside heat is there. The excess amount of heat will be radiated in outside. So excess amount of heat will be radiated, but it is maintain the body inside, so it is limited heat. But here in colder regions is having the heat will be conserving the inside body. So in case the body will be lost the heat, that animals cannot survive in that regions. Why means, so they are limbs and ears and arms, they can short things means it is a very smart means very large, because extreme conditions is fox is having, it's a very larger, the ears and limbs and arms, it is very large or bigger. Means here extreme cold condition regions is living animals is having very short ears and very short limbs and very short arms. Why? Because means they have to conserving the heat the inside body, because in extreme cold hot conditions the excess amount of heat will be radiated in outside or air. But here colder regions, they can conserving the heat. In case the loss of heat in their body, they cannot survive in that regions. That is called Allen's rule. Okay. So why? Because the colder region animals is having small pinna, small snout and small arms, means they can conserving the heat. So differentiated in hot conditions. In case hot conditions, the body is having excess amount of heat will be there, they can radiate it. But here it is not radiated, means it is conserving the heat. Here there is no heat will be found in colder regions. Okay, they can conserving the heat. In case they loss of heat, they cannot survive in that regions. This is also called Allen's rule and Bergman's rule also. Bergman's rule means So colder region, living animals in colder regions means they have small pinners, not arms. Why? Because means they are conserving the heat. They are conserving the heat. Next thing is called Glauber rule. Next thing is called Glauber rule. Glauber rule. Glauber rule. Glauber rule means the animals living in around the equator. Animals are living around the equator. Around the equator. Around the equator. Around the equator. Okay. So Glauber rules mean it is a animals are living in around the equator. Means around the equator we can, for example is grizzly bear. Grizzly bears. Okay, that bears also to be surviving throughout equator. Around the equator means, so that that polar bear's skin is called very dark skin or fur skin. Darkened skin or fur skin. Mean it is very thin because of they are conserving the heat. It is not in case living the loss of heat. It is not loss of heat. Means it is conserving, means polar regions. So at the same time, sometimes the polar bears are equator. Animals are living, which organisms are living in equator, around the equator. They can suspend some conditions. For example, in hibernation, aestivation we are discussing in previous topics. Hibernation means it is winter sleeping. Aestivation means summer sleeping. So some polar bears is to be selecting caves. They can go inside the caves. They can sleep in summer. They can sleep in winter. So nearly 6 months. And also they can suspend the summer time. That is called aestivation. Aestivation means they can suspend the life. They can suspend some time, not a life. Okay, it is some regions and some conditions will be suspended. This is called Glauber's rule. Okay, the animals living around the equator. So that organisms means it is having darker skin and fur skin, and also it is very thin skin. It is to be protecting for inside the body. Inside the body, and hair-like structure also will be there. For example, in equator, grizzly bears. That is also polar bears, but that is one of the type grizzly or bear. Okay, next thing is called very cold conditions. Next thing is called very cold conditions. Next thing is called very cold conditions. Very cold conditions. Very cold conditions. Cold conditions means they have special proteins. The special proteins is acting enzymes. Which is called as enzymes, means that proteins, special proteins, that proteins acting enzymes. Very cold conditions. It is called as here the archaebacteria. So we can see archaebacteria will be survive in extreme hot conditions and extreme cold conditions. For example, 100 degrees temperature will be there in extreme cold condition or extreme hot condition. This archaebacteria can be survive. In this special protein. Will be here. This protein will be in extreme cold conditions. It will be antifreeze. Antifreeze means the proteins will be freezing. That freeze is called antifreeze. Antifreeze means it is to be acting for enzymatic activity. Acting for enzymatic activity. Enzymatic activity means that proteins will be freeze. That proteins will be freeze. So they can it will be low metabolic rate, low metabolic system, low metabolic system, low metabolic system means it is freezed proteins. It is freezed proteins. That's why it will give low metabolic proteins, low metabolic proteins, low metabolic proteins. Okay, it can survive their animals. Antifreeze proteins also to be given. So low metabolic activity, they can survive in very cold conditions, very cold conditions. Next, coming to the extreme hot conditions. Extreme hot conditions. Extreme hot conditions. Extreme hot conditions. The extreme hot conditions means already we are discussing in the temperature. So 100 degrees Celsius they can survive in archaebacteria. Archaebacteria. It is to be extreme hot conditions also to be surviving here. But here it is called a thermostable. It is called a thermostable. Thermostable means it is a which is from thermostable means the proteins will be stable. The proteins will be stable means in extreme hot conditions the proteins will be acting high, maintain the higher temperature. Maintain higher temperature. In extreme cold conditions they are maintaining for antifreeze. Antifreeze. For example, we see in the hot conditions. The proteins will be maintain higher temperature. It is called thermostable. Thermostable proteins. These proteins are to be acting in which is enzymes. So it is acting a thermostable proteins which acting enzymes. Okay. It is also called It is called as thermostable proteins. Also called as means Thermus aquaticus. Example, this is Thermus aquaticus. This is also, what is the bacterium? Archaebacterium. What is the bacterium? Archaebacteria. This is also acting like protein or enzyme. Enzymatic activity. These proteins also to be acting enzymes also. Okay, it is like acting proteins or enzymes. Proteins or enzymes. This is also called Taq polymerase. Taq polymerase means PCR. Here also to be it is DNA synthesis. DNA synthesis will be here. Okay, the archaebacteria can be survived in extreme hot conditions. So that bacteria is having what is the proteins? Thermostable proteins is having in archaebacteria. That proteins which is like acting enzymes. It is to be maintained higher temperature and also to be forming in lower metabolic rate. And also that is the thermostable proteins also we are calling. What is that? Thermo means aquaticus archaebacteria. Okay, this is also to be maintained acting like proteins or enzyme. Means that is also called Taq polymerase means PCR means the DNA synthesis will be there in that organism. Okay, right. Next one is called poikilotherms. Next one is called poikilotherms. Poikilotherms. Poikilotherms means crocodiles. Poikilotherms means crocodiles. Okay, it is also cold-blooded animals. It is also cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals. How much heat they want to get? How much heat they want to get inside the water? I mean, sorry, not inside. So in case the body heat will be reduced inside in water, so in case the heat will be consuming for outside, so it will be comes outside surface of the surface. It comes surface to consuming heat underwater to comes to surface area to consuming the heat. So they will be living in where it is under the water. It is also called cold-blooded animals. So in case the heat will be reduced inside the body, they can consume the heat. So water to come, it is coming to underwater to surface of the area present in the sun. So that is called busking the sun. Busking the sun means it is consuming the heat comes to surface area. So underwater to comes to surface area to consuming the heat. That process is called busking sun. That process is called busking sun. This is the what is the change? This is behavioral change. This is called behavioral change. Means, so it is a cold-blooded animal present living in under the water. In case the body is maintained sufficient heat, in case the heat will be reduced inside the body, they can come to surface. Underwater to come to surface, they can consume the heat. That process is called busking the sun. They can consume the heat. How much heat they want to get the heat, and then escaping from surface to water. So this type of animals is called burrowing in soil to escaping from the surface areas. Surface heat. What is that? Borrowing the soil. Borrowing the soil means, so in case the heat will be reduced inside the body, that's time underwater to comes to surface area, means it is borrowing the soil to escape from the surface heat. Excess amount of heat will be there, so that's why escape from the heat. Excess amount of heat will be there, so escape from the surface heat. Next one is called, now we are discussing population and attributes. What mean population and attributes? Two things will be here. So what is a population and what is attributes, we will discuss it clearly. The adaptations of organisms is completed. Okay, the adaptations is in different manner. Okay, extreme cold conditions and extreme hot conditions. Okay, in desert areas. Okay, we will see each and everything around the equator, and different types of animals they can adapt in different regions and survive and different conditions. Okay, adaptations of organisms will be completed. So now we are coming into the what is that? Population and attributes. Population and attribute. Population and attributes. Here two words are here. The first thing is population and second thing is attributes. First thing is population and second thing is attributes. So population means a group of individuals or organism. Okay, a group of individuals or organisms in particular area is called population. That is also called share or compete, and also to be internal breeding also to be reproduce organisms in naturally. That is called population. Population means a group of individuals or organisms in a particular area. Is called population. That is also called, share or compete. Okay, population is a group of individuals or organisms in particular area. So it is called a population. This is also called share or compete. And one more thing is what is that? Internal breeding or interbreeding. Interbreeding means it is reproduce naturally. This is called population. Means a group of individuals or organisms in particular area. It is called an population. Okay, different types of organisms is there in individual communities. Individual communities will be there. That is called a share or compete. And also it is called, means it is interbreeding. In particular individual organisms also called interbreeding, and they can produce in naturally. They can reproduce or reproductive. Reproductive naturally. That is called population. Next thing is called attribute. So attribute is associate, means it is associated feature of individuals. Means associated feature. It is nothing but a properties. Their individual properties. Attributes means it is nothing but individual properties of population. Okay. So what are that individual features? So we will see that. For example, we can take that birth rate and death rate. So the rate will be calling means, so it is, for example, a single birth and single death will be calling. So in the single organism or individual organism will be die or there in born. So that is called, we have to call birth or death. For example, so in so many members, it is called a group of members is called. So in their birth is called birth rate or death rate. In group of population we are calling birth rate or death rate. It is calculating. But individuals are to be born or death. It is called, we are calling for only death or birth. So there will be birth and there will be death. So the rate will be calling in a group of individuals. Okay, it is calling birth rate and death rate. A group of individuals we are calling birth rate and death rate, and singly it is individual we are calling from only birth or death. So for example, we have to see birth rate and death rate. So attribute is a associated feature of individuals. Or organisms. Okay, first we have to take birth rate and death rate. Birth rate or death rate. Birth rate and death rate. This is the first thing in attribute of the population. So for example, in a pond, 20 lotus is there. So after 1 year, 1 year, so 8 lotus will be there. 8 lotus, not 8 lotus will be increase. 8 lotus will be increase. So new things or new birds, I mean new things is called 8 lotus. New things is called 8 lotus. It is called, so 8 by 20. 8 by 20 it is called as 0.4. This is called birth rate. This is called birth rate. At the same time, when a pond is having 20 lotus, after 1 year it is having only 14. So how many are dead? 6 will be dead. So we are calculating by 20. It is called the ratio will become. The ratio will become. That is called birth rate and death rate. We will calculate it in this type. We will calculate it in this type. Okay. In 8 plants are new. 8 plants are new. Plants of new is called 8. So totally, so 8 by 20 it is called, so 0.4 birth rate. 0.4 birth rate. Okay, this is called per capita. Per capita. This is called birth rate. We are calculating per capita. Per capita. The birth rate will be calculating for capita. For capita. Next, we are calling sex ratio. Another thing is called sex ratio. Another attribute, sex ratio. Sex ratio. Sex ratio. So, sex ratio means the sex ratio tells about only males and females. The sex ratio tells about only males and females. Females. Like the male percentage is called 60%, female percentage is called 40%. So this is the sex ratio. Means the sex ratio tells about only males and females. For example, the females is having 60% and the females is having 60%. 60%. So this is called as sex ratio. This is called sex ratio. This is called sex ratio. Next, we will moving to another attribute is called age distribution. Age distribution. Age distribution. Age distribution means, so it is one of the attribute of the population. Age distribution is one of the attribute of the population. For example, the population is having so many individuals. That individuals is different categories. Under 18, so above 18 and above old age. So it is having different types of individuals is there. So it will be categorized. It will be categorized for the age distribution of the attributes. Age distribution of the attribute. Here the age distribution will be given for three things. One is pre-reproductive age and reproductive and post-reproductive. Post-reproductive. Pre-reproductive means under the 18. According to our Indian Government Act, is called pre-reproductive. For pre-reproductive means under 18. Under 18 age, all are coming into pre-reproductive. They are ready to going for reproductive means given offsprings to birth rate, to be given the birth for the offsprings. Okay. Next coming to reproductive. The pre-reproductive means under the 18. Ready for the reproductive. They are ready for reproductive. So they can give for offsprings. Offsprings means it is to be give new birth for other things. Next, post reproductive means it is after 40 to 45 menopause condition. menopause condition. It is called post reproductive. Post reproductive means after 40 45 menopause condition, after they cannot reproduce in naturally, they cannot reproduce in naturally in offsprings. So under the 18 is called pre-reproductive. Pre-reproductive, it is ready to for reproductive age. Ready to for reproductive age means they are all are coming to reproductive age to can produce naturally in offsprings. To can produce naturally in offsprings. After post reproductive is called 40 to 45. 40 to 45 comes in menopause conditions. They are not reproduced in naturally. So this is called age distribution. Age distribution. Next, another thing is age pyramids. Age pyramids. Now we will see the age pyramids. Age pyramids. Age pyramids, and this is age distribution. Age distribution. First we can see the age pyramid growing population. First we can see the growing population. Growing population. Growing population. So we can see first growing population. Next thing is, okay, this stage is called pre-reproductive stage. Pre-reproductive stage and reproductive stage. Reproductive stage and post-reproductive stage. Post-reproductive stage. The pre-reproductive stage is very much bigger. It's very much bigger. Its number of members will be there in the pre-reproductive stage. Pre-reproductive stage means under 18. Under 18. So it is ready to for reproducing natural offsprings. It is ready to produce natural offsprings. Here pre-reproductive age peoples are very much bigger. Very much bigger. They can reproduce offsprings in reproductive age in number of. At the same time, it will come under the post-reproductive age. Post-reproductive age. The population will be growing. The population will be growing. Means under 18. Under 18 that age peoples are much bigger. It's much bigger. They can reproduce in reproductive age. It will becomes they can reproduce number of offsprings. That's why they can growing the population. Next come to post-reproductive age. Post-reproductive age. It is called 40 to 45 age. Then it will be coming menopause condition. It is not reproducing for offsprings. So here pre-reproductive age is also not producing, but it is ready to reproductive stage. It is under 19. Pre-reproductive stage is called under 18. Under 18, it is ready to reproductive stage. The reproductive stage will be coming. It is much. More offsprings will be produced. The pre-reproductive age is much bigger than two things. Means under 18 in this category, a number of people will be here in the under age group. This age group will be ready to reproductive stage. They will produce number of offsprings. Then coming to post-reproductive age, so there it is not producing offsprings. They are not producing offsprings. This is called growing population. The example is India. The population will be growing. Next coming to steady population. We will see the steady population. This is growing population. Next we will see the steady population. Steady population. So you can see, observe pre-reproductive stage and reproductive stage and post-reproductive stage. Post-reproductive stage means pre-reproductive stage, reproductive stage, post reproductive stage. You can observe here, so three things have to be stable, not bigger than others, and everyone it will be equal. So not it is bigger than other two, and it is all are equal, so pre-reproductive stage under 18 category age peoples also will be said. The reproductive stage age people also to be, they are going to reproductive stage, ready to reproductive stage also, they can going in limited offsprings, they can going to give the birth in naturally, reproduce the offsprings is called limited, limited offsprings will be produced. And also post reproductive, and also to be going post reproductive stage also, they will be going in stable, after the post reproductive is also not going to given the offsprings of the naturally, it is not done, means it is all are to be stable, first it is not bigger than others, it is all are equal, pre-reproductive stage, whenever reproductive stage will be much bigger than others, so they will be produced in the reproductive stage in more number of offsprings, so they will be growing in population. Here it will be stable, pre-reproductive age also, pre-reproductive stage also, category age people also same, and also other than reproductive stage will be coming, here also peoples will be same thing, and post reproductive stage also it will be coming here also will be stable. So for example, the country is called Austria, Austria means here the pre-reproductive age category peoples also to be few numbers, and these members also going to reproductive stage, they also to be producing offsprings also limited number, they can going to post reproductive also limited number, and they are not after 40 to 45 this is menopause condition, not going to give a natural birth of offsprings, next population is called another one is called declining population, declining population. Decline population means the post reproductive age, pre-reproductive age, the pyramids also going to downside, this is also reproductive side, and this is also post reproductive. You can observe the pre-reproductive age is very few numbers, it is very less amount of category people will be here, it is called as pre-reproductive age is having that category, under the category peoples will be very few numbers, that ready to for reproductive stage, also it will be giving the new offsprings are very few, they are going to post reproductive stage, they are not going to give the natural birth of offsprings, that is also very few numbers, it's very narrow size, of under the category peoples. Here also very few people under the 18 ready to reproductive age, they are going to reproduce offsprings in this stage. This is called ready to under 18 age people category will be all are going in this pre-reproductive stage, they are going to ready for reproductive age, here reproductive age, they are producing number of offsprings, but here it is very few offsprings, and then if these few people are going to post reproductive age, here is not producing for offsprings, not going to give the birth in naturally producing offsprings. Naturally it is not producing offsprings, not going to produce, not producing for offsprings, not producing for offsprings. So the example is Japan. The country of example is called Japan. So the Japan population will be day by day in, it will be reduced. It is very few number. In growing population, the country is called India. The next, declining population means it is stable. The population will be stable. So pre-reproductive age peoples, under the 19 people also, it will be few numbers. And then that they are going to ready for reproductive age, going to reproduce naturally offsprings also, they can very few. It is called stable, both are stable. Then after post reproductive age also to be stable, that is called Austria. The population will be stable to maintain, that is called Austria. So in this declining population means the population will be reduced. This is Japan. The example country is called Japan. Next, so the age pyramids will be completed. Next we are discussing population density. Population density. Population density. So population density means the number of organisms of particular species or unit per area. That is representing for capital N. Means population density means the number of organisms. Number of organisms in particular. Particular species, particular area of species or unit per area. It is to be representing for capital N. N means population density. Total population is number of organisms in particular area. And for example, you can take for 100 square meters or 100 kilometers within surroundings, they living in different types of organisms. So they can calculating for the population density means limited. We can take the limited area. That area is having number of people are to be living. So we can calculate that population. That is called particular species or unit per area. That is called represented in capital N. So once again I will say population density means number of organisms in particular area, that is species or unit per area. We are calculating. It is called representing N. So the population density, the first thing is called population growth. So the technical terms we are discussing then later. So first we will discuss in population density and population growth. So the population growth, we can select the particular area. For example, in 100 square kilometers or 1 kilometer, 100 kilometers or 10 kilometers, whatever it is, you can select a particular area. So there the population the population density in particular area. The population density in particular area. Population density in particular area. So we can select any area. The population density will be calculated. First we can select in first the area. For example, 100 square feet or 100 square kilometers and 100 meters, whatever it is, we can select the particular area. So that area is called population density in particular area. In this area, the number of peoples will be newborn and number of peoples will be die. So that are also to be calculated. So that is also called. So the number of peoples will be the number of peoples will be born. The number of peoples will be born in that particular area. That is called natality. Means the number of organisms born in per thousand. The number of organisms born per thousand. Okay, the number of organisms will be born in this particular area. That is called natality for 1,000 peoples, for 1,000 organisms. At the same time, the number of peoples will be die. That is called mortality. The number of organisms dying per thousand. Next, one more thing is here. What is that? Immigration. Immigration means immigration. Keep coming. Other country peoples are going inside India. Keep coming. Other country peoples inside India. They will also to be increase the population. And also to be emigration. Emigration means keep going outside India. The people. Emigration. Okay, immigration means keep coming inside India. Keep coming people inside country. So this is also called emigration. Keep going outside of country. This is called population growth. Means we can select the particular area. That particular area is having the newborn peoples also will be here and dead peoples also will be there. So that is called the newborn peoples we are calling natality and dead peoples also calling mortality in particular area. For example, in the particular area, the number of organisms will be born. That we will calculate per 1,000. So that is newborn peoples will be calling natality and number of organisms also will be die in the particular area. That is also calling mortality. At the same time, the outside peoples also coming inside in particular area. That is called immigration. It is also to be increasing the population. Immigration peoples also will come inside of the particular area. It is also to be increasing the population. That is called keep coming people inside the country. It is called immigration. And also some people also keep going outside in particular place. It is called emigration. And in these people also going outside of the country, it is also to be reducing for population. Population, right? Okay, this is called population growth. This is called population growth. Population growth. And next we will see the technical terms of growth models. We will see the technical terms of the growth models. We can see growth models. Growth models, right? So the growth models means we can observing in bacteria in laboratory conditions. It is having unlimited resources. This bacteria is having unlimited resources to keep going to develop. For example, under the laboratory, so we can take the one particulate. Okay, so here it is to be given the nutrition for some microorganisms. Nutrition is to be given some microorganisms and they can develop. So also again we will given the large particulate and nutrition, so they can fully develop means unlimited resources we will be providing the laboratory conditions. That organisms will be unlimited, means continuously to develop. That is called exponential growth. They can reach to developing. They are developing, going to develop. That is called exponential growth. The graph will be see here. Exponential growth means is there. Exponential growth means in laboratory conditions we will give so all the nutritions for the bacteria. So for example, whatever it is, so temperature, light, water, all essential things will be given to provide to nourishment for the bacteria. So they are developing for that growth is called exponential growth. They are growing continuously. They are developing continuously, not going to stop or stable their growth. It's not going to stable their growth because of we are providing for all things. We are providing for all things for the laboratory condition. We are providing for all things in laboratory conditions, whatever it is. So that's why this is the curve will be keep going for the reaches in the top edge. This is called exponential growth. This is also J-shaped curve. In laboratory condition. So we will see that in laboratory conditions. First we have to take that one particulate to be given the nutrition of the some microorganisms, so they can develop. So we can also to provide a large particulate and large nutrition and nourishment will be given to provide, so they can develop. They can again develop. So they can develop after. So all resources will be provided. In the laboratory conditions. They are going to exponential growth will be there. Unlimited resources will be provided. They can produce number of in laboratory condition. So we can see in the natural. For example, we can see the natural. In natural growth, you can see here the natural. This is called natural. This is called S-shaped curve. Means S-shaped curve. So it is to in naturally the microorganisms can be developed. naturally the microorganisms can be developed in stable condition. In stable conditions, all resources are not available for here in the nature, so they can stable. The development will be stable. So sometimes it will be developed and particular certain stage will becomes they can stable. But in laboratory conditions they are not stable. Why means we can provide all things for whatever it is, nourishment, nutrition, all things we can provide in the laboratory conditions, and temperature, water, whatever it is, sunlight, so everything we can provide. So they can unlimited growth will be there. It is called exponential growth. At the same time, in natural conditions, in nature, the bacteria will be developing stable. Why? Because means the nature is not providing all resources. Because of they are providing limited resources. That's why they are developing certain stage will become they can stable. Okay, here the starting stage will be here, so they can develop some stage, and reaches one stage, some stages they can stable. So the nature will be not provided for unlimited resources, it is having limited resources. That's why they are developing in stable condition. This is also S-shaped curve. So this is called growth models. This is having growth models. It is all are limitations. Here all are limited conditions. Or limited resources. Okay. Here in laboratory conditions we have to provide all unlimited resources and all unlimited things. They can grow. That is called exponential growth. At the same time, resources also to be provided. Resources also to be unlimited here. Unlimited resources. Here also unlimited resources. Here only limited resources. Okay, the organisms can produce maximum capacity of fitness. It is called Darwin's formula. The organisms produce maximum capacity of fitness by Darwin's formula. So we can see the population growth. What are the technical terms we will see now? So technical terms we can see. First, the population size. Represented capital M. Next, increase or decrease population. Increase or decrease population, representing for D, Dn and Dt. Timing for at the time of period. Okay. Next thing is called birth per capita. Is called. So what is the representing for here? Small b. Here it is also called small b. Next, death per capita. It is to be representing small d. It is representing for small d. The formula is called. So what is here? The formula Dn and dt is equals to, so number of births minus deaths, capital B minus D, and population size and population size. This is the formula. So in this formula will be modified into mathematical calculations. In this formula will be modified into mathematical calculations. We will see in the laboratory conditions. We will already discussing the all things are unlimited resources will be provided. The curve will be is there. The curve will be is going to develop in J shape. The going to develop in J shape. That is called J shape. So we are conducting any experiment. We are conducting any experiment in the laboratory conditions. The bacteria or whatever it is organisms we will be taken to provide all the resources. They can develop in unlimited. They can develop in unlimited. So whatever it is we are going to provide nourishment or nutrition, whatever it is. So they can unlimited to develop. So we can provide unlimited resources. In natural conditions, they are providing in natural in limited conditions. So they are also to be developing for stable. They are developing for stable condition. Sometimes it will be developed. So after the stage will be coming and there will be stable. There will be stable. So in laboratory condition, so they are going to unlimited develop. For example, we can see this is called, so increasing or decreasing in the population equals to, so number of birth minus number of deaths in the population size. Okay, so it is called exponential value. This is called exponential value. So for example, we can see in the mathematical calculation formula. We can see the mathematical formula. I mean slightly to modifying the formula of in mathematical calculation. So what is that mathematical calculation? So we can see that. Okay. So capital N and T. Capital N and T means population size after time. So next it is called capital N0. So this is also called initial population. And ERT. So this is slightly to modifying for mathematical calculations. This is slightly modified formula. NT means, so already we will discuss what is that population size after time. And this is called population initial value. Next, coming to U, it is called E. We can say the formula will be slightly modified into mathematical calculations. That E called log value. Next R means naturally rise in the populations. Naturally rise in population means breeding. Means intrinsic. That is called naturally in rise of the population. Natural rise of the population means it is called intrinsicated. It is called intrinsic rate of reproduction. And next T means time period. So this formula in biological conditions, also some slight modifications also to be there. Slight modifications in biological formula. This is also in population what is that? Population growth models. This is also to be exponential growth. The formula will be here. So in biological conditions, small changes means that dn or dt equals to dn and dt equals to, so m or n or capital M or capital N or capital N means already we are discussing. This is called, in laboratory conditions the growth will be unlimited. They can growing means births and deaths equals to, it is called means population size. Population naturally rise population size. Okay, this is called in technical terms of the population growth and models. Remaining things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you. Okay, right.